YouTube, what it do, man? It's your boy Howard Kelly, and I'm back with another video. And I'm really finna drop the sauce on y'all, bro. I know why y'all clicked on this video, because y'all want to get the sauce, bro. I'm finna be showing you guys and explaining to you guys how to build the Coyote killer. Yes, the Coyote killer, Scat Pack killer, LS killer, whatever killer y'all want to call it. It's killing. Alright, on a budget too. Cause who doesn't like doing stuff on a budget, alright? So this is for all my boys that's backyard mechanics. Don't mind working with their hands, getting their hands a little dirty. If you don't like reworking on your car and stuff, this might not be the video for you. But if you cut from the same cloth as me, you don't mind going to the junkyard, you don't mind, turning a few bolts, getting your hands dirty, and all that good stuff. You don't mind, getting your hands dirty and working. This is the video for you, all right? So stay tuned, watch all the way to the end, because I'm gonna explain to you guys for the Fox bodies, the 94 to 95, SN95 body styles. If you want to know how to build these cars, the 2-valve push rod motors on a budget to still have fun with and compete with all the newer cars out there, this is your video, all right? So first off, bro, y'all see all this snow, man? Bro, let's get on topic though. I like for everything I'm getting ready to say. The older people, if you're from my dad's generation, a little bit older guy, you probably already gonna know everything I'm finna say, because everything I'm getting ready to say, this is old stuff. People from my generation don't really know. The 94 through 95 year Mustangs that come with the 5.0 push rod motors are really sleepers. The Fox bodies not as much, right? Because they already come with the 5-liter V8, all of them. So people kind of already expect, all right, it might have a LS in it, it might have something crazy, and it's a Fox body. But the 94 through 95 year, only those 2 years came with the 302 motors, and for the most part, you don't really see those a lot. So whenever I used to drive this car with the motor that's in it now, the 351 Windsor, everybody expects it to be a 4.6 liter every time. I even have 351 badges on the fender. I don't know, people just don't look at it. People probably don't know what it is. People from my generation, my dad's generation, the older crowd, they know exactly what it is, right? As soon as they see it, they're like, yeah, that's not no 4.6. I know exactly what that is. That's something definitely more than 4.6 or a 5.0. But people from my generation, when I go to car meets and stuff, first thing they think is a 4.6. And I'm like, dang, man, that's a good sounding 4.6. No, bro. It's not a 4.6, all right? So, what should we start off with, all right? What should we start off with? So, the 5.0s are pretty good engines. You can build on the run, but you got to put a little bit more money into them. And I ditched my 5.0 and I went up in cubic inches, all right? So, the secret sauce to this is the 351 Windsor, all right? So, for the people that don't know what 351 Windsor is, they come in the vans. They came in a lot of Ford vans back in the 90s and 80s, vans, the trucks, some of the older Cougars, I believe the Mach 1 Mustang, some of the years they came in. It's pretty much just a longer stroke, almost look at it as a stroker 5.0 engine. All right, it's the same bore size, just longer stroke. It's just a stroker 5.0. So how can you acquire one of these motors? I suggest either going to the junkyard, getting one. You can get a full motor out of the junkyard, probably around, I think I paid like $300 for mine. Here's my 351 here, and I have it torn apart right now because I'm getting ready to boost it. Actually, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys that. I was supposed to be doing another video with that and coming out with that. Oh well, now y'all know. Big deal. All right, so you can go to the junkyard, find you. I suggest finding a 90s model Ford truck or van because they have two different 351 blocks. You can get a flat tappet block or a roller block. I strongly suggest get the roller block. The flat tappet, it's a little bit more budget. You go flat tappet route, flat tappet lifters and flat tappet kiln. It's a little bit more on a budget. You can save a lot of money, but the performance of it does not compete or compare to a roller kiln. All right, and then the longevity of it, of the kiln and the motor itself with that flat tappet kiln does not compare to a roller kiln.
Brand new because I was going to build that 351 Windsor and sell to somebody.
Yeah.
And never even got a chance.
So, I got my 351 Windsor out of a E250 Econoline van. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I believe it was like a 90s year van. And I got the complete motor. I think I only paid like 3 something, maybe 4. I'm pretty sure it was about 3 something for the whole engine. I really didn't need it. I really just needed the short block. But I paid for the whole engine. And I got it out of the junkyard, all right? You can go that route, or you can get it off Facebook. There's a lot of people on Facebook that have the short blocks for sale. So you can buy it off Facebook or off out of the junkyard out of a 90s or newer van or truck, all right, to get that roller block. Alrighty, so the SN95s and Fox bodies, their computers, since they're both EFIs, they come from the fact with the EFI setup. They are controlled through the computer as far as the fueling, right? And the pumps are electric. Now, all you have to do, and fair warning right now, I'm just get this out the way. This build would be utilizing a carburetor. I'm only talking as far as a carburetor, not EFI. EFI get a little bit more expensive in my opinion. I don't mess with EFI. EFI is really good. Don't get me wrong. EFI is great. You know, much more flexibility as far as tuning, but it's more expensive and it starts to become less budget when you go EFI. All right, carburetor's less complex, fairly simple, to be honest, and much cheaper and budget friendly. Alrighty, so with the Fox bodies and the SN95s, they come with the EFI fuel pumps, which I believe they push out about 40 psi, you know, for the stock injectors. Now, you can run a fuel pressure regulator. I believe that's good enough to hold that pressure and pull it down to about 7 psi, because that's all a carburetor needs, either 5 to 7 psi. That's all you need. Alrighty, you can do that, but I tried doing that, but the way I did it was cheaper. I went a cheaper route as far as a fuel pressure regulator. I went ahead and got a Mr. Gasket fuel pressure regulator, and yeah, that didn't do good. It's needed to be matched up with a much lower rated fuel pump, so it cannot handle the pressure that was coming from that EFI pump. Alrighty, so the fuel pump that I ended up running in my Mustang was out of a Ford Ranger. I believe it was like a 95 or 96 year Ford Ranger. And I believe they only push out at least 10 or 12 around there pounds of fuel pressure. Alrighty, so much lower than the factory fuel pump. And then from there, you match that up with a Holley fuel pressure regulator, and you're good. Fueling is done. You turn the pressure regulator down to about 5 to 7 psi of fueling, and you're good as far as fuel. Plenty of fuel for the carburetor, and it'll be plenty of fuel to run you up to about 500 horsepower. So, alrighty, so NA. Ignition. Now, since these cars already come with the, I believe it's called the TFI ignition, it's ran through the computer. So the only thing that you can adjust on it is the base timing, which is the timing when you first crank the car up. You can pull the distributor up and down, and it'll probably pull it up to about 10 or 12 degrees of ignition time, or 8 degrees of timing, whatever you set it, right? But the computer controls all the advancement of the timing. So when you go carbureted, you're deleting a whole bunch of sensors. So you're no longer going to be able to see how it's advancing that timing throughout the RPM range. Now, if you have some type of different management system, some aftermarket management system where you can get into the computer and see that, then you're fine. You can control the timing. I don't. So what I did once I deleted all the sensors was pull the spout out. There's a spout in the harness that you have to pull out, and that locks the ignition timing out. Whoa, my hands is cold. All right, don't mind all this wiring because I'm getting ready to tuck all of that. So for the 94, 95 year, the spout will be over here near the fender, and that's all it is. You just pull this little plug out that locks the ignition timing out. For Fox bodies, your spout is up near the distributor. So you pull that spout out, full timing is locked out, and you're good. I watched the video. If you know what locked out timing is, I made a video. I think it was probably my second video I made explaining exactly what locked out timing is. All right, so watch that if you're not sure what that is. But as far as ignition, you pull that spout out, time is locked out, you're good. You're good for NA. You're fine. That's all you have to do. Ignition. You can still run a stock distributor. Let's say you don't have enough money to go buy an MSD distributor or MSD box or whatever. All you can run is the stock distributor. You're fine. Pull that spout out, set your timing, you're good. You will have to modify the distributor if you're trying to use the one out of the 302. And the reason why you have to do that is because the oil pump rod that's on the 302, I believe, is much shorter than the rod that's for a 351 Windsor, the oil pump rod. So since the lengths in the oil pump rod are different, you will have to shave or cut the rod on the distributor a little shorter. So if you get a little grinder and you just place the distributor on top of the grinder, and you just continuously, don't cut a whole bunch, but just keep grinding that rod down little by little, test fitting it into the motor, see how it fits. It don't sit down all the way into the motor. You pull the distributor back out and you repeat that process. Keep shaving that rod down that distributor until it fits down flush into the distributor hole. And after that, you're set. Ignition's done, fueling's done. You saved quite a bit of money in those two compartments. You're good. That's all you have to do on the ignition. And be honest, I got away with running a stock distributor. I actually ran a distributor out of the junkyard. So I was running, which I don't suggest though. You do want to go to aftermarket distributor. But if you absolutely need to and you need to save money, you can run the stock distributor that comes out of the 302 and put into the 351 Windsor with the timing locked out, and you're good. That's all you have to do. All right, so now for the most important stuff, the engine modifications. All right, so starting off with the oil pan, you can't use the oil pan out of the 302. It's much smaller, it won't work. So LMR makes a 351 Windsor oil pan swap kit. You can either find it on Facebook Market somewhere, someone might be selling it, or or get off LMR. And it might be a little bit more expensive now than when I bought it, but get the oil pan swap kit from LMR. Now, you can run stock cranks, stock rods. You can even run stock pistons, honestly. I didn't run stock pistons because I want to bump my compression up just a little bit, which it didn't really bump it up that much. I went flat top 4 valve relief cast pistons. You can use the entire stock rotating assembly that comes in these 351 Windsors, and you'll be fine. You'll still be running about, depending on what size cylinder heads you get for its combustion chamber, you'll be running between 9-to-1 to 10-to-1 compression. You'll still be good, be plenty. All right. So I also suggest do not take these boxes to the machine shop. You can do all this at home in your garage. You're gonna save a lot of money with this. The first block I took to the machine shop, got a whole bunch of work done to it that I probably didn't need, and the motor never ran right. Took the motor out probably about 3 times, had a whole bunch of scarring in the skirts of the pistons, a lot of scarring on board. It was never boarded correctly, and yeah. So the second time around, once I got this other 351 Windsor block, I decided to do everything myself, and it ran great for probably about 3 years, and it still ran great. I'm just taking it out to upgrade it a little bit for boost. So all you need to do is hone the cylinders. If you take the pistons out and they don't have a lot of scarring in them, if the cylinders look pretty clean and pretty nice, just take some WD-40, a drill, some honing stones, and just hone the cylinders, and you'll be fine as far as the short block. So now, this is where you guys want to get your power from, all right? You don't have to buy the best of the best, but from your cylinder heads, cam, and intake, this is where you're going to get a little bit of your power from. Now, the cylinder heads that I'm running, as you can see here, 170cc SVE heads. So I'm running 170cc SVE heads. And when I got them, I got the first generation of those heads, the ass cast ones. And there was probably back when I was in high school, which was several years ago. And they were $750. I had bought them right before they had went out of stock. Got them around this time during Christmas, and I paid $750. That's all it was. Now, that's definitely the limiting factor to this combination, right? But it was on a budget. It came with the springs, already upgraded, everything ready to just bolt right up, and they've been great up till now. They've been wonderful. So I suggest you guys to look for some type of aftermarket aluminum head that's $1,000 or cheaper, and they are out there. There's plenty of them. That's a little bit more on the smaller end as far as the CCs of the head. So you can find them used on Facebook, or you can go pro comp, go with companies that don't have as much recognition, Chinese knockoffs. All of them are fine in my opinion. Just get some aluminum heads and get some type of aluminum head. The stock heads on these motors are horrible. Small block forward heads are horrible. And that's definitely the restrictive part. The most restrictive part of these motors, these 2-valve push rod motors, are the cylinder heads. They flow like crap, boat anchors, in my opinion. So if you just get some type of aluminum head for cheap, you'll be good enough and it'll run fine. All right. So now we got our cylinder heads. Now for the cam. The cam that I'm running is an Edelbrock. Well, before I even ran an Edelbrock cam, I was running an E303 cam, the Alphabet cams, and that was definitely a little bit on the mild side, but it ran good, and I could still run against other cars, the 5.0s, the stock 5.0, Scat packs, and stuff. I can run right on the side of them, lose probably a half a car, but I would run right along them guys, with that cam. Now, what really helped me and set me apart was running a much bigger lift cam and much more duration. And that cam that in the upgrading tool was a Edelbrock Roller Thunder cam. It was a 573, 582 lift split cam, roller cam, of course. Duration was like 299, 302 duration on intake exhaust. Really good, healthy cam, and was perfect for me for as far as street strip. Great cam, right? So that's the cam I ended up running. So try to get a cam that's gonna operate in the ranges around like 15 or 2,500 all the way up to about 6,500, right? Or 7,000 is good too, right? But 25 the 6,500 RPMs, and that's plenty, right? So try to get you a nice healthy cam that's around that operating range. So after I had that cam installed, after I had that cam installed, that really helped me pull around. Even with those restrictive heads, that cam right there definitely increased my power considerably. And I started dogging definitely stock Scats, LS's, and what's it called? Coyote, stock Coyotes, dogging. I'll definitely outrun them. But nah, I ain't gonna lie. No Coyotes with some bolt-ons. Yeah. It was a run. I still get y'all, but yeah, it was definitely a run. Yeah, so the newer cars, like the Coyotes and Scat Pack with some bolt-ons and stuff, they run pretty good, but still, once I upgrade that cam, that's all I need. And I was running with a lot of stuff that was newer, right? So All right. So now that we have that cam, the intake. Now, since we run a carbureted, if you're running a cam that's operating all the way up to about 6,500 RPMs or lower, get a dual plane. Edelbrock Performance RPM intake. Get on Facebook, look it up, find one on Facebook Market. I found mine for about $200 used, and it was great. Great cam select. I mean, great intake selection. All right. So hop on Facebook, get you a dual plane Edelbrock Performance RPM intake, and you're good. All right. So that's the intake you need to run. Carburetor, I would suggest around 600 or 650 CFM. Some people say probably 750. I try to run 750s on this car, on my motor. Did not like it. The best carburetor that worked for me was a 650 Quick Fuel Street Brawler double pumper series carburetor, and that was brand new, $400. But you can find one of those. You can find it's carburetors everywhere. If you know how to tune a carburetor, you know a little bit about carburetors. You can find a used one on Facebook and tune it to work on your car. You'll be fine. Exhaust. So for your exhaust, you will have to get BBK. If you go shorty hitters, you have to go BBK 351 Windsor swap hitters. I'll insert a picture. If you want to go long tubes, they also offer long tubes. I never ended up going long tubes because them joints were expensive. I wasn't spending that money on that. So the BBK shorty 351 Windsor swap hitters, find those on American Muscle, LMR, or looking up on Facebook Market. You can find them everywhere. I'm pretty sure you can probably find quite a few of them on Facebook Market. I know since I'm going turbo now, I won't sell mine. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna keep mine because you never know. Yeah, I might throw them back on if I decide to go NA. I doubt it, but I don't like letting go of my parts. But I think I covered just about everything. I hope you guys were able to watch all the way to the end. Hope you guys understood everything that I was saying. And yeah, so again, for you guys out there that like to get your hands dirty, you know, like the older cars, the older push rod 2-valve. And if you even have a Fox body, you know, because there's still, I know quite a few guys that's around my age that still have Fox bodies, the 94 to 95 year 2-valve push rod engines. You know, if you got one of these, I strongly suggest going 351 Windsor route. I don't really see many of these cars with 351 Windsors. I know they're out there, but I haven't ran into many of them personally. Whenever I go to a car meet, I'm usually one of one with this engine combination, which is good, right? But if you want to make use of these cars on a budget and you really want to go out there and compete, and you don't have to dump a whole bunch of money at them and stuff, I strongly suggest going 351 Windsor. Get the motor out of the junkyard. Run stock short block, just freshen up with bearings and rings. Get some real cheap aluminum heads with a nice healthy cam in it. Do a plain intake, carburetor, and you good. That's all you have to do. So yeah, man, if you made it to the end, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you got any questions as far as anything that I said on how to do this swap, do this build, or whatever, please leave it down below. I'll answer whatever question you guys got or have for me. And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.